But Fox, I wasn't ready as an actor. In America, you guys have been to America, you know. America, they can do it right now. So they go, oh my God, I love you. So we got this movie coming out and you're going to be the star.
Yeah.
And blah, blah.
Yeah,
you go,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
You're going to be acting with this person, that person, blah, blah. And you go, sorry, what? We're going to start filming tomorrow. It's very now.
Fast track.
It's very now because they've got the money. Let's do it now. So I'm out there and I'm having all these meetings. I'm going forward. They wrote, listen, my manager in America woke up the person that owned Disney to see me on a Sunday for an audition. And I goes, why are you here? And he goes, Jeff Berg told me I need to be here. So what do you want to do? What do you want us to do for you? And I was like, what? I'm 28, 29. I don't know what the hell's going on. Right. I say all that to say the treadmill was running too fast.
Right.
And God's thing for me was like, this is not it yet.
Yeah.
You've got a journey to go and your journey is going to inspire. So right now, you're not going to like me at this part. You're going to fall off.
Right.
You're going to fall very hard. Right. At the time, I'm a God-fearer. I hated God. Because my thing is, I'm a good person. Why are you doing this to me?
Right.
Right. Do you know what I mean? Why is it public that I've gone bankrupt? The only time I made a cover of a black magazine was when I got the New Nation for being bankrupt.
I was on the cover of New Nation as well. For Crouches, but it's a whole other thing.
There you go. Right.
Yeah.
And so even my own black people were not supporting me as much as you would think.
But a lot of them were waiting for it.
Because I was the only one.
A lot of them were waiting for you to fall off.
Yeah. Right.
And they were like, you see, with some waste, man, anyway.
I got all of that, right? So, but I say
that's how black people are, a lot of them.
But you see, so me falling off so I was meant to disappear. But this is why I say that it's bigger than me. It's God. The reason why I look the way I look at my age and blah, blah, I train Muay Thai, blah, blah, is that God's going, you see, when you come back, because you haven't really gone nowhere, but when you land the thing I'm going to land for you, and I'm saying it here now, without it being here now, when you land that thing, he goes, all those people that don't follow you on Instagram, as we were talking all those people that act like, Richard, are going to be the same people going, Richard,
I always knew you.
And I'm saying it now with them watching going, yeah, right. Because it's bigger than you, it's God.
Yes.
Right? Do you know what I mean? So, because I know that my journey, our journeys, whatever God's got planned for us, nobody can falter. Right? Do you know what I mean? So, me coming up in the time that I did, I was the person that kicked down a lot of the doors that everybody's walking through now. A lot. Listen, even podcasting. I was doing podcasting version of that on Choice FM.
Yes, because you were doing the radio.
Let's just have it right. Me, Kat, were like the Sundays.
Kat, you and Kat. Yeah,
we were the first podcasters because we were just chatting about everything and people calling in and blah blah blah. Then it was me, Aaron Fontaine, and all these people that we were doing it before it, and then it turned into podcasts. But we were the first, right? Do you know what I mean? But people will not give that up. And the reason why they don't give up is because they kind of don't know, because it's not been said. So everybody comes and goes, we were the first. And it's like, no, you weren't, right? Rappers, we were talking about it, right? We see rappers going, I was the first to do this. And it's like, do you even know who Caveman is? Do you know about Moni in the Middle back in the 80s? Do you know about Cookie Crew, right? Born This Way in the 80s? Do you know about that? Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know about, if I say Caveman, you don't know who that is.
Nah.
Right? Caveman was a group that had a big tune. Derek B. Right? Derek B. He had a tune out in the early 80s. Rapper. Right? So this is what I'm trying to say. These people, right? Moni Love was the first British rapper to have success, real success in America.
Yeah.
Everybody does
Akemji. Sorry, someone's saying Akemji.
Go on.
You've been going for a while, but how do you deal with fame, bro?
The way I deal with fame is I'm not famous, so I don't like.
You've got a whole BAFTA sitting on your show. What are you talking about,
but I've got one of these interesting careers whereby like people don't really know who I am. And you said something to me earlier where like you go in rooms with the assumption that you don't know that people don't know who you are. Yeah, and I for the most part don't. So like I was in a queue yesterday. We went to I was queuing to get tickets yesterday. Went to a WizKid show and like queuing for like the guest list tickets or whatever, and then two ladies in front of me like recognized me off for something, and I was like quite like taken aback because I never assumed that I'm in that pantheon of like known people. Like I do things, but like my success in the last few years has mostly come from me being behind the camera.
Yeah.
If you see what I'm saying? Like, so I've been on TV since I was like 11, 12, but I've never sort of, I've resigned myself to the fact that I've got one of those faces that people don't know where they know me from. And it's that kind and that's like not a bad place to be. Cause
that's what Stormzy said. Where do we know you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's actually kind of helpful from an actor perspective because it means I just get to go in the role, do the role. Like I was in Life and Lyrics, but you had to be like, oh yeah, he was in that.
That's right.
Because I did the thing, I did the role and bounced, did the next thing. And so in terms of fame, I don't really have that. I have some famous friends or people who are known, and I see what they have to deal with in terms of managing that. Not that it's a bad thing, like, but they handle it quite gracefully. But for me, I want to do the money, get the money quietly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do the thing, get the, you know, and do the work as well. But in terms of, and also, I also just keep a very small kind of crew of people.
Right.
In terms of like, my day one school friends, you know what I mean? I can name them on like one hand, or like my actual friends, you know what I mean? So I'm not really out and about, like as much. And usually, like, for instance, yesterday, you know, there was a little afters and stuff like that. I didn't really go to that. I didn't go to that. I'm not really interested in all that.
Right.
And I struggle with it sometimes because I'm cognizant of the fact that you have to put yourself out. You have to do things like that. And it is part of our business. And I also, when people do kind of, receive me and say, oh, we've seen your work, I deal with it as gracefully and respectfully as I can, because it's nice when people show love. But I also just have a real kind of simple, kind of life. Like my dad and my mum are very well known in Hackney because they ran a business. They ran pubs. So I'm still Tandy's son when I'm in Hackney. So like I'll cross the road and see friends of my dad's. That's what I'll do. I'll cross the road and see them and say hello and all of that type of stuff. So I'm not thinking about like, oh, I was on TV last night. You know what I mean? I've got that to ground me. You know what I mean? And
Mel's dad used to have a restaurant
round the corner in Dalston. Yeah. I know. He what did he do? He had like an enterprise. He had like an African thing, but we never crossed paths. But I met his dad. But no, I didn't know at the time. But I know we now know some of the same people.
But being from where you're from, though, Akemji,
yeah.
What was it like to be from where you're from and win a BAFTA?
It was amazing. It was one of those things where, like, look, my speeches on YouTube, it's like 5 minutes. You know, them speeches should be about 2 minutes. I didn't care. Because the most important thing is I had to thank mum, dad, and God. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get to thank my big sister because she's the reason why like my taste in music is what it is, and all that good stuff.
Right.
But she'll get her thanks in other ways. I got to thank mum and dad, and that is documented forever because as a child growing up in Hackney, you know, grew up on Rhodes Estate right next to Holly Street. We were, there's kind of two ways you can go really as young kids, you know, especially like late 80s, early 90s. There's two ways you can go. And I just wanted to create stuff and do stuff. So my parents put me in everything. They put me in, I learned to play the guitar. Like my guitar teacher was in Holly Street. So I used to walk to Holly Street, learn to play the guitar. I used to go to drama school on Saturdays. I even played like street hockey. I played hockey because I watched the Mighty Ducks.
Roller hockey?
Yeah. I played the Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks was the big
You
one.
played for Mighty Ducks?
No, I watched the Mighty Ducks rather, like D2, the sequel. And I was like, I want to do this. And I said to my dad, like, whatever we can do, I want to play this game. And then there was a black, his name was Derek Norkeji, Nigerian guy he was a coach and he ran an outfit called the Islington Panthers. And I remember going there. My dad would drop me every Wednesday. I was terrible. You know
what made me, actually, always call myself a former actor. You know, one of the things that made me drop out of acting is that if we go back to 2007, you remember Mike Reed?
Yeah.
Right? From EastEnders. You're right, Pat? And I auditioned. Mike Reed had a new show called Filthy Rich. It was going to be on after Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway. 8 p.m. primetime Saturday night TV. I auditioned from Talkback Thames and got the role. We started shooting. He was like a bent copper. I was like this new guy fresh out of the academy. And I was like, yes, I'm back. I'm going to be back. He went away to Spain and he died. Oof, let him rest in peace. And I was like, I went to the studio. I was like, all right, cool. So what we're going to do? Like, all right, cool. And they were like, nah, we're going to scrap it. And I was like, no, this is primetime TV. Like, what do you mean you're going to scrap it? And they were like, nah, we're going to scrap it. And I was like, you know what? acting. And the reason why I said that is because before that, it had been so up and down for me. After doing Family Affairs, it had been so up and down. I'd been doing this drama here, that BBC thing there, this play here, and I'd been getting roles, but I wasn't like on prime time, and this one was. And that's when I kind of fell out of love with it.
Okay, so I'm going to answer it twofold. So there was a lot of roles that I missed out on. I was meant to be in Tomb Raider.
Oh, really?
Right.
The Angelina Jolie or Alicia Vikander?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. What's his name? The black guy that played that?
Colin Salmon. It wasn't Colin Salmon, was
it? No, that he was flying the air balloon.
Sean Parks.
Yeah.
No, but that was that was the Mummy, wasn't it?
No,
Sean Parks was in.
Yeah, no, but there was a black person in the Mummy. I mean, not in the Mummy.
In Tomb Raider.
I'm
gonna have to think about this.
Yeah, because I do.
He's the history man. He knows.
Yeah. Google it. Yeah. But from what I was doing music, and from what I heard, it could be a lie, but Angelina Jolie saw me and said, I want him to play the role. And East West Records said no, because he's promoting the album. So you can't do it.
Enemy of progress, bruv.
Right? You Google it? Right?
No. One.
And then the second one, right, was, is it being Mary Jane? The
American show with Gabrielle Union.
Right, yeah.
They had a black comedian in there. He was supposed to be British, right? A stand-up guy. My agent came to me and goes, well, I was in EastEnders. He goes, well, they wanted you on Being Mary Jane because you're black British and you're a stand-up, but we had to turn that down. I went,
what? Why?
I said, what? He goes, EastEnders not going to let you out. And I was like, right. But here's the thing though. This is going back to what Ken was saying. Years before that, McG, he did Charlie's Angels.
McG, yeah.
I went to his house, right? He saw my stand up. This is when I got signed in America, and he came up with a program called Fastlane, which was Bill Bellamy.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm still Googling.
Yeah. And I was meant
getting his history right.
And he wanted me to be the black character in Fastlane. Right. But I said, do I need to play an American? And he went, yeah. And I did. And I wasn't confident. And I was like, oh, can he be British? And he goes, it's too late now. And he goes, but I want you to play the role. And I was young, naive. I was thinking, well, I've got other offers. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right. And I lost out on it. But I say all of that to say, and I'm going to go back to you saying F.
Yeah. That's where,
right? Nothing happens before time.
Yes, indeed.
Right? Nothing happens before time. So I've had a lot of knockbacks, and as you know, I fell off for a long time, and I came back and blah, 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 blah. And I came back, and when I did EastEnders and the Hollyoaks Now, I thought I was ready for things before. When I did EastEnders, because that's such a fast treadmill, it's one of the fastest in terms of like soaps that are on, right? It's a multi-camera, so you know they shoot a scene that would take 4 hours on one show, they shoot that in an hour and a bit.
Yeah,
right?